Hello students, welcome to All4 e-learning. Now let us go for a discussion of some numericals related to prism. So this is the continuous lecture for previous one. So concepts, everything over regarding the prism and how the light is refracted through it. All are over. The next and earlier two problems were discussed. Now we are going for third one. So in this case, there is a prism. Angle of prism is given 60 degree, and a ray of light is incidenting on this one of the refracting surface of the prism with an angle 40 degree with the surface of refracting surface. Means the incident ray is incidenting at an angle of 40 degree with the refracting surface, undergoes refraction, and finally it is giving deviation. The deviation suffered by the light is 38 degree, right? So here, if it is so 38 degree total deviation suffered by the light, then what will be the angle of emergence? Means I2. Let us consider here the normals. Normals are drawn at two refracting surfaces. So here it is I1. This is I2, angle of emergence. We can estimate that the angle of incidence, total it is 90 degree. From 90 degree 40 removed off, then I is equal to 90 minus 40, which gives 50 degree. Okay, I1. Now after finding this I1, and we can find the angle of emergence by using the deviation. Deviation equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. So delta deviation 38 degree given. Then I1 is 50 plus I2 is angle of emergence minus angle of prism is given 60 degree. Therefore E is equal to here 50 minus 60 minus 10 remains. Take this side, then you will get 48 degree. This is angle of emergence. Okay. Next, go for another problem. So in this case, there is a prism of refracting angle A. Refracting angle of the prism is 30 degree given, and the refractive index of the metal of the prism is given at √2. So a ray of light is incidenting on the refracting surface AC as shown in the diagram, but another refracting surface AB is silvered. Whenever it is silvered, it acts as a plane mirror. Now a ray of light is incident on the refracting surface AC, and finally it incident on the plane mirror, that is a silvering surface, and retrace from its original path. So after reflection, it retraces along the same path. It retraces along the same path. Then what will be the angle of incidence where it is incidenting at the first refracting surface AC? Second one is silvered. Then what is the angle of incidence over here? So angle of incidence I1 say this is R1, here I2 R2. Here R2 is 0 because it is incidenting around the normal. I2 is also 0. Therefore, here using R1 plus R2, that equal to R1 plus R2 equal to A. Okay. So here R1 is, we don't know, plus R2 is 0, then it is 30 degree given. So R1 equal to 30 degree. So this is obtained from R1 plus R2 equal to A relation. Then after finding this one, go for Snell's law. So mu into sine R1 is equal to outside 1 refractive is 1 into sine I1. Therefore mu √2 sine R1 is 30 degree sine I1. So sine I1 is equal to 1 by √2 after simplifying this 1 by 2, then I1 is equal to 45 degree. At this angle of incidence light is entering at refracting surface AC, then incident on silvering surface, and again it retraces along the same path. So this is possible for angle of incidence 45 degree. And go for third question, which is fifth question, which is again prism given, and on this prism one of the refracting surface AB on which the light is incidenting normally. It is a normal incidence, and after incident on this AC surface which is grazing out of it. So this is one of the cases already we discussed in concepts and its relevant special cases, where this condition or the case was discussed there. So again we go for the conditions that I1 here, I1 is equal to, it is incidenting along the normal, I1 0, and corresponding R1 is also 0 because there is no bending of light there. And again at a second refracting surface, so this point already given earlier, whenever there is a light is grazing the surface, other side the angle is to be taken as critical angle. Therefore in this case this is I2 which is 90 degree, and this is R2 which is a critical angle. Therefore again using R1 plus R2 is equal to angle A. So R1 is 0, R2C is equal to A. So A is equal to C, or A is equal to C is the condition. Means angle of prism is nothing but critical angle of this material medium when the ray is traveling from glass into or prism into air medium. Then go for next point here in this case. So question is asking what is the deviation suffered by the light. So in this case delta is equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. Of course delta deviation suffered equal to I1 0, I2 is 90 degree minus A is equal to C. Therefore delta equal to 90 minus C. So this is the deviation suffered. Of course C can be found by using this refractive index. This is already given refractive index. Therefore by using that refractive index we can find C value that from Snell's law. So if you go for Snell's law here, using Snell's law, 2 into sine C, 2 into sine C is equal to outside sine 90, and this is sine C, or directly we can find it critical angle sine C is equal to 1 by mu, sine C is equal to 1 by mu is equal to 2, C is equal to 30 degree. After finding the C deviation we can easily find 90 minus 30, which is giving 60 degrees the deviation suffered by the light in this case. Okay. Your next problem is sixth one. A glass material, it is a prism of angle 75 degree, and the minimum deviation suffered by the light is 45 degree whenever it is kept in air medium. If this prism is submerged in a liquid where the minimum deviation is given 15 degree in the liquid, then what is the refractive index of the liquid? Okay, once again, so a prism of angle 75 degree, and it is made of dense glass, and its refractive index is given 3 by 2, and which is keeping in air and giving minimum deviation 75 degree. If it is submerged in a liquid, then minimum deviation suffered by the light is 15 degree. Then what is the refractive index of the liquid in which the prism was submerged? So let us go for the formula. Mu glass with respect to air is equal to sine A plus delta minimum by sine by 2 by sine A by 2. Again, mu glass with respect to liquid after submerging the prism in the liquid, then that is relative refractive index, then sin A plus delta minimum dash by 2 by sin A by 2. See here, when a prism is keeping in air medium, then refractive index of the glass with respect to air, sin A plus delta minimum by 2 by sin A by 2, and whenever the prism is submerged in a liquid of refractive index mu L, of course, then so formula again, deviation suffered is different than that of the first one. It is 15 degree when submerged in water or liquid, liquid. Then sin A plus delta minimum dash by 2 by sin A by 2. Just I am taking the ratio of these two, so these two gets cancelled. Now simplify this. Here mu glass by here mu glass by mu liquid, because it is relative refractive index, that equal to sin of A 75 plus 45 by 2 by, see here, 75A delta minimum is 45 when in air, and whenever it is submerged in liquid, 75 plus 15 by 2. By simplifying this, mu liquid is equal to how much? This is 75 plus 45, so you will get sin 60 here by simplifying, because 75 plus 45, that 80, 120 by 2, sin 60 by sin of, this is 75 plus, so 90, it is a 45. Therefore mu liquid is equal to root 3 by 2 by 1 by root 2. By simplifying, refractive index of the liquid is root over 3 by 2. This is the refractive index of the liquid in which the prism is submerged, and its corresponding minimum deviation is given 15 degree. When it is in air medium, minimum deviation is given 45 degree. Under these circumstances, under these values which are given as data, use these data and we are finding that refractive index of the liquid in which the prism was submerged. Next, go for another problem, 7th one. So here there is a prism of prism angle A given. Now the question is, what will be the maximum value of refractive index for which the light is giving passage? It is allowing the passage of light through this prism. Means the light is grazing incidence, and after refraction it is grazing out of the second refracting surface, say ABC. So the light is grazing along the AB surface, and after refraction it is grazing out of the second refracting surface AC. So this is possible for a value of refractive index which is said to be the maximum. What should be the maximum value of refractive index of material of the prism for which it allows the passage of light, in the sense it grazing incidence and after refraction giving grazing emergence. Therefore, in this case we go for a point that here in the first case, first surface a normal is drawn, it is grazing, therefore it is critical angle. Here also grazing, here also critical angle. As you wish, anywhere we can use the critical angle case, that is Snell's law. Now sin C is equal to 1 by mu. Sin C is equal to 1 by mu. But we know that R1 plus R2 is equal to angle of prism is mentioned, that is A. Now R1 and R2, C plus C is equal to A. 2C is equal to A. C is equal to A by 2. This is critical angle, A by 2, half of the angle of prism. Now we go for this equation. So mu is equal to, this can be used where? At any surface, because it is giving the critical angle case. So boundary case and critical angle case, under which we can use sin C is equal to 1 by mu, and its concept and its relevant problems are also discussed previously. Now mu is equal to 1 by sin C as mu is equal to 1 by sin C is equal to sin of A by 2. Instead of C, we substituted A by 2. And also, I am going to substitute this instead of 1. So, I am going to substitute the value, that is root over sin square A by 2 plus cos square A by 2. Okay. So, again it is giving 1. Root over 1 is giving 1. See here, sin square A by 2 plus cos square A by 2 giving 1. That is root over 1 is giving 1. Therefore, instead of 1, I am taking the value like this by sin A by 2. So, mu is equal to, after simplifying this, take this value into the square root, then you will get root over sin square A by 2. It is taking inside sin square A by 2. So, it becomes 1. And this is cos square A by 2 by sin square A by 2, and which gives us mu is equal to root over 1 plus cot square A by 2. So this is maximum value of refractive index. Of course, it is a maximum value. Okay, it is a maximum value of refractive index, for which it allows the passage of light in the sense it is grazing incidence after refraction, grazing out of the second refracting surface. So this is example 7. Let us go for another example problem, that is 8th one. There is a prism and their corresponding angles are clearly mentioned. Angle of prism is alpha, say here A, and corresponding angle of prism, this is apex angle, or the angle of prism or refracting angle is alpha, and this is beta and this is beta mentioned clearly. Now on this prism, a ray of light is incidenting normally to AB side. It is incidenting normally and undergoes reflection, and again it is emerging perpendicular to base, perpendicular to the side BC. Then what is the value of alpha? If it is so, the light is incidenting normal to this refracting surface AB and undergoes reflection. Again reflection takes place at AB, and finally it exits perpendicular to BC. Then what is the value of alpha? This is the question, right? Let us go for geometry. Totally it is a link up with geometry, nothing else, totally geometry. Now here a normal is drawn at this surface. Now this is alpha, this is 90. What is this angle? 90 minus alpha. See here, this is right angle 90, this is alpha, this is 90 minus alpha. Okay. So now this is a normal is drawn over here. Here also it 90 degree. This angle is 90 minus beta. If it is 90 minus beta, this angle is beta. This angle is beta. This is also 90 minus beta. 90 minus beta. Now, here it is normal is assumed for this surface. This is alpha, this is alpha. Or otherwise, what is this angle? 90 degree. So we can't find this value like this. And directly we can take this from this triangle, 90 and beta, 90 minus beta. Okay. From this triangle, say it is total angle is, this total angle is say theta. Okay. Now from this angle theta, this is 90 minus beta, and here it is beta. A normal is done over here. When normal is done, this is 90 minus alpha, this is remaining alpha, and again if it is alpha, so reflection takes place, this angle is also alpha. Therefore, from this triangle, once again see, this is alpha, this is 90, Here 90 minus alpha, a normal is drawn to the surface. So this is total 90 degree. From 90 minus alpha removed off. This is alpha. This is the angle of incidence. This is the angle of reflection alpha, alpha, 2 alpha. Therefore, from this triangle, sum of the angles 90 plus, this is 2 alpha plus 90 minus beta, which equal to 180 degree. Then these two gets cancelled, right? So 90 gets cancelled. Then 2 alpha is equal to beta. This is equation 1. This is equation 1. And go for the big triangle. So sum of the angles are alpha plus 2 beta is equal to 180 degree. Alpha plus 2 beta is equal to 180 degree. But here it is given beta equal to 2 alpha. Alpha plus 2 into beta equal to 2 alpha, which is 180 degree. Therefore, here total 5 alpha. See, 2 to the 4, 4, 1, 5 is equal to 180 degree. Alpha is equal to 180 by 5, 36 degree. Okay. So 36 degree alpha value. So that is the question asked in this case. Therefore, angle alpha value whenever the light is incidenting normal to the first refracting and finally it emerges from BC side normal to it, then in such situation the value of alpha is 36 degree. Then go for another problem, example number 9. In this case, there is a small angled prism. Its apex angle is given 4 degree and refractive index 1.5. A ray of light which is incident on this prism, small angled prism, but this light is traveling horizontally, which incident on this prism undergoes refraction and again it is incident. So after refraction it again incident on a vertical plane mirror keeping somewhere as shown in the diagram, and it undergoes reflection from this mirror. Okay. Now the question is, what will be the total deviation suffered by the light? First case, deviation suffered due to refraction by the prism and deviation suffered due to reflection by the plane mirror. There are two deviations. Let us find them. So here it is extended. Suppose if it is extended forward, this is a deviation suffered. Okay. Here it is, instead of moving in this direction, the light is deviated from its original path. See, this is the deviation suffered delta 2. Okay. Now a normal is drawn over here. These two are parallel lines. This is transverse line. This is delta 1, and delta 1 is, let us find its value. Delta 1 is equal to mu minus 1 into A. Mu is 1.5 minus 1 into A is 4 degree. So how much this? 1 by 2 into 4, which is giving 2 degree. 2 degree is the delta value, and definitely here angle of incidence is also 2 degree. So this is 2 degree because these two are alternate angles, and this is also 2 degree. Okay. Now what is the glancing angle here? Total here angle is 90 degree. From 90, 2 degree removed off, and remaining will be 88 degree. So 88 degree is the glancing angle. Here also 88 degree. Therefore, total deviation suffered will be delta equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. Delta 1 plus delta 2. So delta 1 is how much? Here 2 degree. That is due to refraction of light through small angled prism. Delta 2 is, that is due to reflection of light, which is giving the deviation, that delta 2. So let us find them. Delta equal to, this is 2 degree already given, plus this is already calculated, and delta 2 is glancing angle in terms of glancing angle 2g. Now delta is equal to 2 degree plus 2 into glancing 88. Now 2 plus 176. As a whole, the deviation suffered total 178 degree. So total deviation suffered by this light by refraction and by reflection together, which is giving 178 degree, and this is the final answer. Here let us go for one more example problem, that is 10th one. So in this case, a prism is given, which one? Small angled prism, and its apex angle is 4 degree, and a horizontal ray of light which is incidenting on it undergoes refraction, and its refractive index is given mu is equal to 1.5. It undergoes refraction and suffers deviation by the small angled prism, and again which is incident on a plane mirror which is keeping at somewhere vertically. Now again there the light is undergoes reflection. See here, this is undergoes refraction and giving its deviation. This is angle of deviation delta 1, and again a normal is drawn at the point of incidence on the plane mirror. Here this angle is delta deviation suffered by the light due to refraction. So due to refraction, how much deviation suffered? Delta 1 is equal to, let us find delta 1 is equal to mu minus 1 into A. Yes, substitute the value. Mu is 1.5 minus 1 into A. A is 4 degree, which gives us 2 degree is the deviation suffered by the light due to refraction through small angled prism. And again this light is incident on the plane mirror, undergoes reflection. Now the question is, here it is 2 degree, and definitely these two are parallel lines, and this is transverse line, alternate angles. This is also 2 degree and this is also 2 degree. Okay. Now the question is, the mirror is to be rotated with a direction such that the reflected ray, final reflected ray will becomes parallel. So this is the question. Once again I repeat. There is a small angled prism of apex angle 4 degree and refractive index 1.5. A horizontal ray of light incidenting on the prism undergoes refraction and giving its deviation. That is calculated 2 degree. Then this light after refraction incident on a vertical plane mirror, keeping somewhere, and again incident on it undergoes reflection. Now here angle of incidence is same as here the deviation suffered from the diagram. Diagram itself is given like this. Now 2 degree, this is also 2 degree. Now the question is, in order to make this reflected, final reflected ray horizontal, then at which angle the mirror is to be rotated? So very simple. So this final reflected ray becomes parallel here. So how much angle it is to be turned? 2 degree. Reflected ray must be turned by 2 degree in clockwise direction. Therefore, the reflecting surface should be turned in the same direction with how much angle? 1 degree. See, if it is 1 degree turned, 1 degree turned, in which direction? Clockwise. Thereby the reflected ray will turn by 2 degree, then it becomes horizontal. So this is the question, and answer is also over, that in clockwise direction the mirror is to be turned by 1 degree in order to get the final reflected ray horizontal. Okay, this is question is one of the variety of questions. Okay.